Hey guys, you know, in the first Matrix movie, by the way, it wasn't a movie, it was a documentary, but there's a reason why they put that scene in there with follow the white rabbit. And well, that's how this game works. That's how this simulation works. This is how life works, right? Is the universe will send you signs and synchronicities. They're like signposts that you become aware of and you follow through, right? They're like breadcrumbs from the universe telling you this is the next step to take, so forth and so forth. And I've been doing this for a while, and I'll give you an example of this, and it's really cool. It's like the unfolding of life experiences. So this is last year in December, just before my birthday. And I had come back from Egypt last year, and this is 3 months later, right? So I'm still processing Egypt. But anyway, in December last year, around my birthday, I thought I would just stay at home and chill out. But anyway, I was meditating one morning, and I meditate basically every morning. And I was in deep meditation, and suddenly I received this really crystal clear download about Fiji, the holiday destination, the island, Fiji. And I'm like, when I noticed this, I'm like, what is going on here? I just came back from Egypt 3 months prior. I'm still processing that. And it's like, this Fiji would be the third overseas holiday for the year. And I'm like, can I even afford that? Blah, blah, blah. So anyway, I sat with it. I'm like, okay, that's really interesting, but it's coming through really, really strong. It's like a direct download from the divine, right? From source. So I couldn't really ignore it. And basically I'm like, oh, that would be really cool to go there for my 50th birthday. Shit, I just give my age away, whatever. And I thought, yeah, that would be really nice just to go for a week and celebrate my birthday that way and just have time for myself in a relaxed environment. And I've been to Fiji twice before, and I absolutely love it. Absolutely love that place. Anyway, so I started doing research on the flights, the accommodation, what have you, and I found a couple of options. And I'm like, okay, well, I said to the universe, financially I could do it. I could fit it in. It's a bit tight, but it's definitely possible. And, I was really liking the idea. And I'm like, okay, I'm just going to think about it, for a couple of days, and I'll just lock it in. So anyway, the following day I went driving, in the shopping center, what have you. I was going in the streets there, and suddenly, unexpectedly, there is a guy walking in the street, and I'm driving past, and I notice his t-shirt, in huge capital letters writing Fiji. And in this moment, I'm like, oh my God, okay. If that's not a clear enough sign, then I don't know freaking what is, right? And I knew in that moment, right, okay, I'm gonna book my trip to Fiji. Came home straight away, I got onto it. I'm like, okay, there's a couple of flights, this is the option, this is the accommodation, couple of options there to fit my budget. And I knew that one of them would work out, and I trusted the divine that the one that will work out, that's the one that's meant to be, right? And so it did. So I booked it in. It was a bit tight with finances, but I'm like, okay, I'll manage, I'm just going to trust the process. I didn't have anything planned, hardly didn't have that much money with me. But I just knew that everything would come together perfectly, and everything would work out, and everything would be okay. I just knew that, you know, and I trusted myself, I trusted the universe, I trusted the divine. So I went to Fiji. Oh my God. It was one of the best relaxing holidays I've ever had. I had aha moments there many times, epiphanies, further transformations. And it was absolutely amazing. And I also sat next to a guy on the plane, and you know, he gave me some advice. He helped me out. He actually took me to my resort the following day. And had I not met him, had he not been sitting next to me on the plane, getting to the resort that evening would have been a bit messy, and it possibly would have been a stressful situation. And I'm not going to get into that now because that's another story. But right, everything happens for a reason, right? In divine timing. And so we got into a conversation. You know, he was relatively, you know, awakened, you know, spiritual being. And he said to me, oh, you know, you're like quite psychic. And I thought, oh, wow, okay, like that's interesting that he picked up on that, because there was no reason for him to, you know, it's not like we were discussing these topics. So I thought, okay, that's interesting. And anyway, I asked him a question as to, you know, why is he going to Fiji? And, you know, he was telling me the reason why he's going there to see a friend. But before I continue that, something else got confirmed to me on the plane as I was sitting next to him. 2 weeks prior to this Fiji trip, I had a dream, because I'm psychic in my dreams. And in my dream, Source gave me a scene play out. And the scene was a guy was riding on a motorcycle, you know, motorcycle quite fast. And he had sudden impact with a car, or like a bigger car or a truck, you know, like a pretty fast, sudden impact. And that's all what that dream was. I wasn't given an indication if he was going to be like totally okay, but I knew that he was going to survive this crash, impact, whatever it was. And when I got up in the morning, I was a little bit freaked out, and I was worried about my brother, because my brother has a motorbike and he rides, you know, every second day. So I was a little bit freaked out, and I didn't say anything to him or anyone, because I'm like, oh my God, because my psychic dreams come true, most of them. So anyway, when I asked this guy on the plane, when he was telling me the reason why he was going to Fiji, I mean, you know, he is half Fijian, and, you know, he grew up there when he was young. But anyway, he said he was going to Fiji for a week to visit a friend who was riding a motorcycle and had a sudden impact into like a smaller truck, and it was quite serious, and he got pretty badly knocked up, you know, like damaged, yeah, quite badly, and he was in hospital, you know, recovering, and, you know, so I'm like, oh my God. And so I told this guy that sat next to me on the plane, oh my God, yeah, okay, so you picked up on the fact that I'm psychic, and yeah, and there's the dream precisely explained in detail, right? So exactly. So I'm like, oh my God, well, okay. I felt bad, you know, for his friend and everything like that, and but I also at the same time appreciated the confirmation of the psychic dream. Then in Fiji, I met a guy called Liam was his name, that worked at the resort. And I was having conversations with him, because it was just basically me and him at the resort. It was, you know, quiet period, and there were new owners at the resort, so it was just a quiet time. And so anyway, I got to know him quite well, and he was awesome to talk to because we were on the same page, you know, similar frequency, really awakened light being. So that was quite refreshing. And anyway, so I also, you know, I guess you could say he confirmed things for me as well about how anything really is possible, and how we are limitless beings, and how we can achieve anything, you know, that we desire. You know, anything's possible. And he showed me his finger, one of his fingers on his right hand, I think it was missing because he was in some accident. And so basically he just had the 4 fingers. And his dream or desire was to learn how to play the guitar. He because, you know, he sang quite well. He had a nice voice, and he wanted to learn how to play the guitar. You know, he believed that he could, and he was focused on it, not obsessed or anything like that, just followed the passion, but wasn't attached to it, right? So if it wasn't going to happen, you know, not a big deal type thing. But anyway, he followed this dream and this passion, and he learned how to play the guitar so well, and he played it for me as well, you know, with 4 fingers. And he was telling me a story how one time he met a tourist who stayed at the resort about 6 months prior, and this tourist had a similar situation with a finger. He had a missing finger, this tourist did, and this tourist wanted to learn how to play the guitar, right? That was his passion as well. I mean, interesting coincidence, but there's no coincidences. And Liam was telling him, well, because the tourist person was saying, yeah, I don't know how I'm going to do that, you know, because I've got a missing finger, so it kind of seems like I might not be able to do it. And then Liam shows him his finger, and Liam said, well, I play the guitar and I learnt that, and, you know, that didn't stop me, and I know how to play well. And like that tourist person was like, oh my God. So, you know, I mean, how cool is that, you know? And then the tourist dude got really inspired and motivated, and, you know, basically was really serious about learning how to play the guitar because he knew that it was possible from Liam. You know, he did it. If he can do it, the other dude could do it. So anyway, so that was really cool, just like, you know, talking about it and getting this kind of clarity and confirmations. And yeah, it's just really inspiring. So overall, it was an amazing trip. But yeah, it's just really cool. That's just how it works, guys. So just have enough awareness and notice the synchronicities, right? Notice the signs, because most of humanity, they miss it. You know, they miss the opportunities. They miss these signs. You're basically, the universe is telling you what to do. Do this, do that, you know, follow this guidance. This will be good for you. And it's basically just your higher self that is creating these synchronicities. And the synchronicities are that's how the organizing principle of the universe. Yeah, it's the organizing principle of the universe is what the synchronicities are. I think they're so cool. Your higher self creates them, and you are your higher self. That's how powerful you are. Right? So there you go. Just wanted to share that. Follow the white rabbit. Follow the white rabbit. All right. Love you guys. Keep shining your light. Okay. Till next time.